Micah Schultz has allegedly threatened Oscar Pistorius' sister Amy during sentencing procedures at the High Court in Pretoria. That was yesterday. The incident happened when Schultz and his friends sat in the front row of court, which is designated for family members. There have been reports that Pistorius had also been threatened and was escorted in and out of the court by the police. Schultz, who admitted to killing mining magnate Brett Cabell, allegedly swore at Amy Pistorius, which left her visibly shaken. Apparently, the hitman complained about not having seating and situated himself next to the athlete's family. Pistorius allegedly told them that the bench was reserved for family members only, which angered Schultz. Pistorius and a family then asked for a police escort out of the courthouse. Schultz and his friends were removed from the court, and at this stage it's still unclear if they'll be allowed back in today. But let's find out from Griselda Lewis, who's standing by outside the North Gauteng High Court. Good morning, Griselda.
A very good morning to you, Eben.
Crackerjack Day it was again yesterday, Griselda. What's the latest with the standoff between Micah Schultz and company and the Pistorius family?
Well, there has been denial from Micah Schultz that he threatened Amy Pistorius and says that, in fact, he was the one who was kicked inside the court. So it really has been both sides. The Pistorius is saying that Oscar Pistorius was threatened, that Amy Pistorius was threatened, but Micah Schultz saying that he did not do that. You'll also remember that Micah Schultz is a friend of Jared Mortimer's. You'd know Jared Mortimer from the Santa nightclub incident where Oscar Pistorius was said to have got into an altercation there. So certainly, you know, over the past a few days, we've seen quite a stronger anti-Pistorius brigade, if I may, inside this court, with the presence as well of Mark Batchelor and also Oscar Pistorius' ex-girlfriend Samantha Taylor and some of other family members.
We saw earlier in the week the blood money, and the money's going to be paid back, and now this latest little altercation. Is there increasing bad blood developing between the families in this case?
Well, I must point out, Eben, that certainly behind the scenes and when the cameras are off, what we saw earlier on this week is actually an embrace between Oscar Pistorius' uncle Arnold and Barry Steenkamp, but certainly no cameras were in that section. You know that there are a few cameras that are only monitoring the court inside. But, you know, when the cameras are on, certainly, and you know, when court gets underway, when the details emerge inside court, when the details continue to be either through testimony or through other means, of course, you can really see that it's two families that are broken. Two families that might never be able to reconcile as a result of what has happened to Reeva Steenkamp. So, you know, it's very difficult to say at this point whether the Oscar Pistorius' family and the Steenkamps will ever see eye to eye as a result of what happened to Reeva Steenkamp.
The expectation today, Griselda, are we going to wrap up things before close of business today?
Well, we certainly will, Eben. Judge Thokozile Masipa indicated that yesterday, and so did the state and the defence. It is closing arguments today. We're expecting the state, of course, to focus a lot on the emotional testimony that we saw of Reeva Steenkamp's cousin Kim, you know, to really point out that there's devastation as a result of Reeva Steenkamp's killing. June and Barry Steenkamp have suffered enough, so it would be in the interest of justice. Society would want it for Oscar Pistorius to spend some time in jail. Then, of course, you'll have the defense, which will certainly try to point out finally that Oscar Pistorius has shown remorse, that Oscar Pistorius would not be able to be accommodated in South Africa's prison system, and that Oscar Pistorius has shown throughout this trial that he is remorseful. He even wanted to extend a hand to Reeva Steenkamp's family in the form of financial support, because you would know that Reeva Steenkamp was the financial backbone of the Steenkamp family. So that's certainly what the state and the defense would really want to drive home a final time before Judge Thokozile Masipa, we understand, will adjourn this matter. We're not sure when she will adjourn it to. You know, she'll come back and, of course, give her final verdict in this matter.
Griselda, now it's the final day. It's been a long road for you. You've come all this way Feels like years almost for all of us. How do you feel now that this thing is finally wrapping up? And what's the mood like amongst your colleagues in the media there on the pavement?
Well, certainly I don't think anybody can deny utter exhaustion in this case, in that the mornings have been exceptionally early for the live crossings on the SABC's flagship morning show, Morning Live. And of course to you, Urban, every single morning, always a pleasure, of course, to speak to you. But, you know, from journalists, they've been saying, while justice needs to be served in this matter, the wheels of justice need to be seen to be fast. In that we have reached finality in this matter, of course. If the state decides that it's going to appeal this case, that's going to be another marathon run in the Oscar Pistorius trial. But a sigh of relief, I must say, from many of the journalists this morning who are hoping that, the state and the defense will finish this matter at least before 1 o'clock so that we're able to get some rest today. But, of course, all of that is up to Judge Thokozile Masipa.
The hacks don't want to rest. They want to finish at 1 so they can go to the bars there in Pretoria. I tell you, Criselda, thank you for joining us. You guys deserve a while and rest. You've done a super job.